Salute, people, what's happening? This is Boxing Nocturnal Thoughts, man. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I want to talk to you guys real quick on my thoughts of Charlo and his interview that he did with Mike Tyson on the Hotboxin show. Because Charlo got a lot of flack. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot of flack for not being ferocious like a lion is supposed to be. Yeah, like he wasn't intimidating. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do what everybody wanted him to do, which is to flip all out, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike Tyson was right there telling him, Mexican monster this, and you know what I'm saying, be like Roberto Duran, and you know, insult his mother, and tell him to, you know what I'm saying, perform fellatio on you. You know what I mean? And you cast all these insults and slanders to him. That'd make him fight you. And Charlo took a different approach. And some people say that was a missed opportunity. You know, it wasn't a good look, or it wasn't a good. It didn't sound good. It wasn't a good look for Charlo a couple of months ago when he was getting arrested. Now, I don't know the details. I don't know if it's a gag order or if I'm not paying attention, but I know there was some kind of situation within his family or his circle that's around him where there was some kind of assault and battery charges, and I don't know if that's ongoing. But if it is, then it would make sense for Charlo to have some kind of hesitation in his social media or his media presence, trying to select and choose the way he wants to project himself. You know what I'm saying? For his reputation or his mental stability. But that might be one reason. Another reason is I just always, ever since I seen Charlo do an interview where he said that the strain between the relationship of him and his brother, you know what I'm saying, and the rifts that they've had, how turbulent their relationship is. It seemed like a lot of that had to do with one being pitted against the other as far as career-wise, success-wise, and I just think their personalities, it's that twinergy type of energy that to me is always on the verge of, you know, erupting or spontaneous combustion or whatever you want to call it. But it just seems like Charlo is more of the older brother approach, where I love my little brother, and I would rather sit back in the cut and watch him shine versus me having this world conquering mentality where, you know, I want it all. I don't think he has that narcissistic I want it all mentality. I think he shared the womb with his brother, and in his heart of hearts, he's content with what he's already accomplished in the sport. I think he would like to fight Canelo, you know what I'm saying, competition wise, but I don't think his heart and his passion is just hell bent on showing the whole world that he can beat Canelo. And honestly, in my opinion, I don't think he wins against Canelo. But I do think he has a 50-50 shot of beating David Benavidez, and I think that should be his main focus, is fighting David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the response that he gave as far as the high risk and low reward, and I don't like what Charlo was saying about David Benavidez being sucked down, or actually being, he should be a heavyweight this or a cruiser, whatever he was saying. You know what I'm saying? I think David Benavidez is beatable. I think David Benavidez can beat Charlo, and Charlo could beat David Benavidez. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But back to what Mike Tyson and Charlo was going back and forth with, the difference between today's era and his era. I think it got misconstrued because a lot of people seemed like in their reaction was saying how the days back then, the fighters were more in your face and they weren't afraid of each other. And I think to myself, with that being said, even before Mike Tyson's era, you've already seen that's just not the case. That's not true. Like, we've heard and watched documentaries that Sonny Liston intimidated and put fear in the hearts of his opponents. And Floyd Patterson, I heard a story like he came to the second fight in some kind of a costume so people wouldn't recognize him, because he didn't want to face the whole media back then about Sonny Liston. We've heard about how Sam Langford put fear into people. We heard about how George Foreman put fear into people. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's always been fear in fighters that are intimidating. I don't think Jermall Charlo is intimidated by David Benavidez. I don't think he's intimidated by David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's intimidated by David Benavidez. I'm questioning myself. Do I think he's intimidated by David Benavidez? If I was him, I wouldn't be intimidated by David Benavidez, because I see the way to beat David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? I see the way Jermall Charlo could beat David Benavidez. Physically. Mentally, no. Physically, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I would spend 90% of my time training, chopping down trees, big ass fucking trees, with a big ass fucking axe, chopping down trees. Because that's what I would focus in on David Benavidez, is chopping them down, breaking them down to the body. You know what I'm saying? Solar plex shots, hitting around his guard, all that space, all that open body, I would be breaking them down. Placing my punches with mean intentions on that body, breaking them down. Body, body, head. Body, head, body. Body, body, head. Just breaking them down, round by round. You know what I'm saying? David Benavidez does this thing where when he gets hit with a good shot, he'll smile at you. You know what I'm saying? And then he'll wave you in, and you can tell he's bracing up his body to take punishment. He's going to counter. You know what I'm saying? And he has those octopus arms, pop, 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 speed, power, everything. But he will let you bang his body. And the thing is, if you bring the right type of timing to catch David Benavidez when he's not ready for those body shots, you're going to break him down over time. And we've seen him get clipped and get knocked down before. Now, David Benavidez, physically, I don't think he's genetically as gifted and blessed physically as a Jermall Charlo. But mentally he is. Mentally he just don't give a fuck. But what he would have to do to beat Jermall Charlo is finesse him mentally. Like not Mike Tyson, but Tyson Fury is the ultimate mental manipulator. Take a page from his book and just really get in Jermall Charlo's mind. Because literally, you would have to tame the lion. You know what I'm saying? All puns intended. You would have to be a lion tamer. You know what I'm saying? With that little fucking chair for your shield and that jab, that whip, you know what I'm saying, for your distance. But mentally, you would just have to constantly keep Jermall Charlo tame. Because I look at Jermall Charlo against Juan Montiel and Deverenchenko, and he's the type of fighter, in my opinion, that he will allow you to, I don't want to say he lacks a killer instinct whatsoever, but if you lull him into just fighting a fight that's mediocre, then he'll put on a mediocre performance and give you the opportunity to just out hustle him, outwork him, and outperform him. And I don't see nobody really getting knocked out in that fight. You know what I'm saying? I could see David Benavidez just round by round, just taking rounds, outworking Jermall Charlo. You know what I'm saying? And Jermall Charlo just kind of never baring his fangs, never showing his teeth, just, you know, the paralysis, going around the cage, looking like a lion, sounding like a lion, but never doing what lions do, which is that maul and brawl and rip you into pieces. You know what I'm saying? You just keep them tamed mentally, and then physically You beat the mind, the body will follow. So it's a 50-50 fight. It can go either way. That's how I see that fight. You know what I'm saying? I can see that fight going either way. So I don't see intimidation. You know what I'm saying? I think Jermall Charlo is comfortable, like the old, marvelous Marvin Hagler. It's hard to get up and run miles in silk sheets. It's not that he don't train. He trains, but I'm just saying I don't think he's really hungry. I think he's content and happy with his success so far in his family and everything like that. And he doesn't deal with those same demons that Mike Tyson dealt with. So he's cool. And he's letting Jermall Charlo, who has a little bit more of that Napoleon complex, go and conquer the world. That's what I think. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. This is Boxing Nocturnal Thoughts, man. I'm out. Salute. Bye.